What are strategic acquisitions? In this video, I'll be talking about strategic acquisitions, which is one of the type of acquisitions that you can do, or one of the type of strategies that you can use when you're acquiring businesses. So on this channel, I talk about value acquisitions, strategic acquisitions, growing your business via acquisition, growth hacks, and so on. And strategic acquisitions is essentially one of the key aspects that business owners, that current entrepreneurs should use to grow their current business. So strategic acquisitions are essentially a type of or strategy that is used to complement your current business. So you've got a business right now which operates in a particular market, sells a product or service to a particular type of customer, and you want to buy a business which is going to complement your current business in some sort of way. So some of the examples that can be used, or some of the examples that can be given why someone would go to buy a business. So there's always going to be why you're buying this business. When you're going to do a strategic acquisition, you're always going to be able to answer the question, why am I going to buy this business? What is the outcome that this business is going to give me to complement my current business at the moment? So what are some of those outcomes? Some of those outcomes could be, number one, and this is the most common by the way, is to acquire a business which is selling a particular type of product or service that you want to sell. The biggest examples of these, all of the big tech giants, for example, they all do strategic acquisitions. So if you look at if you're an Apple iPhone user, then Siri was a strategic acquisition. If you're watching this video right now, YouTube was an acquisition that Google made to get into the video market. Android was a strategic acquisition that Google made to enter the telephone software market. So there are all of these different types of, and very recently, which has been very high profile, that this is not technically an acquisition that they did, but they made a significant investment into, so Microsoft made a significant investment into ChatGPT, the company behind ChatGPT, to go into AI. So these are all examples of strategic acquisitions or strategic investment in the case of Microsoft and the AI technology to enhance their current business offerings. So if you think about it, Siri in an iPhone has been completely incorporated into that product. Now you can't tell the difference. So essentially Apple and Siri are synonymous. Whichever company that came up with Siri before, whether it was called Siri or I don't even know what it was, that was now acquired and brought into the current product offering. So acquiring a new product or service, and especially if there's intellectual property involved. So let's say, for example, there's a company and they've come up with a unique product or service and they've IP, they've trademarked that, they've got copyright on it, and no one else can actually use that product or service or produce that product or service, then the only way to get your hands on that product or service is to go and buy that company itself, because you're buying the IP as well. So that's why you would do a strategic acquisition, to acquire that new product or service. The other type of strategic acquisition is if a business is selling a product or a service and they sell it to a particular type of customer which only really buys from that business. So for example, you could be operating in a market and you're selling a product, and let's say there's another business which is selling a product, but they've got the messaging right to sell to a particular type of customer. You're only got, for example, 20% of the marketplace because you're selling to other types of customers. But let's say that business is selling the same product that you have, or very similar product that you have, but selling it to premium customers who are paying more for the product, who the margins are higher, for example. So you're going to buy that business so you can acquire that customer pool and that customer avatar and incorporate that into your business. Now again, you don't have to merge those businesses. I mean, this is a video for a topic for another video. You don't have to merge the companies together, so therefore it comes like Siri and Apple was essentially merged together. Many times you don't have to merge, but you bring it under your holding company, you bring it under your parent company, and therefore you can benefit from the products. So from the profits, I should say. So when you acquire that business, you're going after that particular customer avatar, that customer type, so you make that strategic acquisition in that way. Another reason why you might do a strategic acquisition, which is again very, very common, especially in the small to medium sized marketplace, is to get into a new geography or to have a monopoly over a geography. So I remember I was in contact with this one business owner, and it wasn't my client or anything, it was just someone that I met. And what he had is that he had on one high street, he had two shops. And the one of the shops would sell to premium customers, and he had acquired another business which selling to sort of the middle to low market customers. So anytime, for example, someone would come to his premium shop and say, oh, your prices are too expensive, he would send them down to the cheaper shop so that he can still get the business. So he's acquired, within the one high street, he's acquired two locations, and he's serving all types of customers. You could consolidate a market itself. Let's say, for example, you're in a state in the US, for example, and you want to be the monopoly in that entire state. So you acquire all of these businesses within, for example, Texas, and you own that marketplace. It could be in another, for example, in the UK, you could, in the whole of the West Midlands, for example, you could acquire businesses all in the West Midlands, and every single, essentially, you end up with acquiring majority of that market share. So it's going into new geographies, or you can go into completely new geographies. Like recently, I went into a new marketplace, and something interesting happened. So a new geography, I mean. So something interesting happened is that once I acquired a business in that particular geography, I got phone calls from other business owners in that particular geography say, oh, we heard that you bought this business and we're thinking of selling. Do you want to take a look at our business? I said, of course I want to take a look at your business. Send over the details. Now, none of them actually met my minimum criteria, and I have another video which talks about acquisition criteria, so you can go and watch that as well. But the fact is that going to a new geography, and people contacted me and inbound leads on how I might want to acquire their business. And if I was interested, I would have had first call on their businesses. So another type of strategic acquisition is you might want to buy a business, might need to want to acquire a business. If, for example, they have advanced systems. So if you're running a business at the moment and then you see another business, and what you see is that they're running their business more efficiently. So let's say, for example, your business is currently doing 2 million in turnover at the moment, or 5 million in turnover at the moment. Let's just call it 5 million in turnover. And you see another business which is also doing 5 million in turnover. However, you've got, for example, 15 employees generating 5 million in turnover, where that business, for example, has 7 employees. Then that business has obviously got something on your business, because they're able to generate the same amount of revenue as you're generating at the moment, but with half the number of staff. So that is something that you might want to understand. Why is that business able to generate so much more revenue per employee, and therefore have a higher profit? Because of course you don't have to pay 7-8 people's worth of wages when you're acquiring the same amount of revenue with a smaller employee count. So you go and acquire the business, and let's say, for example, they're utilizing a particular type of technology in a way that you've not seen before. Then you've acquired this advanced system of running a business. There's many different reasons. It could be the technology that they're using. It could be the processes that they're using. It could be, for example, some of the marketing strategies that they're using. So advanced systems encompasses quite a lot, but that's one of the strategic acquisition or types of strategic acquisitions that you can make. One of the other types of strategic acquisitions is known as acqui-hire. Now, there are so many different types of strategic acquisitions, but for the purposes of this video, this will be the last one that I explain, and you get the point by now. So an acqui-hire is essentially hiring or acquiring a business to hire a team. You know, if you're a business owner, recruiting great staff members is always going to be a challenge. And if, for example, there's a business which already has great staff members who are working in that business and they've been working there for a long time, therefore they're loyal to the business, then you can buy the business, and essentially what you're doing is you're hiring a bunch of people through acquiring that business. And it's a great way to enhance the talent pool that you have to your disposal when you're running your business. So acqui-hiring is a great way to hire new people into your business. And the great thing about acqui-hiring is that even though some people may only be working for that business, they can easily take on project work from your current businesses at the moment, especially if they've got spare capacity in their time and the utilization of their time. So you can essentially take tasks that need to be fulfilled in your current company where you may not have capacity, and then you give them over to people who can take on the additional capacity, or vice versa. In any case, actually, one of the things that I found as well is that as I acquire other businesses, I find some businesses are really good in completing certain types of tasks. So they're able to complete certain tasks very efficiently, where another business doesn't complete that same task in the same level of, at the same level of efficiency. So what you end up doing is that and this goes into advanced systems as well. So what you find out is that more and more you acquire, you get the best processes and you get the best systems and the team members who are enabling those systems to be utilized in the most efficient way, then your entire business becomes more efficient and therefore more profitable. So strategic acquisition is extremely interesting. And basically, again, just to repeat, that strategic acquisitions is there so you acquire a business to improve your current business in some way or another. Whether that's to acquire a new product, new customer type, going to a new geography, advanced systems, acquiring team members, for example. There are so many reasons to use acquisitions. And it cuts, for example, if you had to hire 15 people, how long is that going to take you to hire 15 great people? 15 people who you don't have to go through the testing phase. Is this person going to be able to perform at the level that I need them to perform? Are they going to be able to be committed to the business? Are they going to pass probation? Yeah. So you may need to go through, for example, 20 employees just to get 15 good hires. Where you buy one business and you've got 15 great hires who have been in the business for a very long time, and therefore you've got that talent pool. So it's a great shortcut. It's a business hack. Remember, acquiring businesses is just one of the best business hacks that you can use ever to grow your business. So if you want to find out more about how to grow your business via acquisition, carry on watching more videos on this channel. And of course, if you want, you can get in contact with me through the link in the description.